everybody. I'm Pastor A.J. Houseman, and welcome to Shit They Don't Tell You on Sunday, a podcast to dig deeper into aspects of the Bible that get glossed over or totally ignored in most preaching. The Bible has a lot of parts that are racy, uncomfortable, and sometimes downright horrifying. Let's talk about it. Welcome to our first podcast. Well, really, it's just a teaser segment to give you an idea of what to expect when we get started with our guests. So, have you ever read parts of the Bible and been like, shit, what is going on? Our pastor has never talked about that. Or, for the pastors out there, sometimes you come across things in the lectionary for Sunday and are like, oh shit, I don't know if I can even talk about that on Sunday morning. Or they're going to chase me out of the pulpit. Well, the truth is, there are a lot of those kinds of things in the Bible. Sit with that. That there are stories of circumcision and rape and murder and adultery and divorce are all in our holy scriptures. Or sometimes it's just a matter of perspective, right? Like, how about the part where God kills everyone on the earth in a flood? We never talk about that. We only talk about the cute little animals that are getting on the big boat 2 by 2, and then they come off 3 by 3. There are many pieces of the Bible that I had never even heard before I went to seminary, because I was one of those people that had never sat down and just read it cover to cover. Good for you if you have done that. I am not that avid of a reader. And to be honest, I'm glad that I didn't. I imagine coming across some of these things and not being able to make any logical sense of it, or have no way to reconcile it with messages that I did learn in Sunday school or confirmation or at church camp. And maybe you're someone that's sitting in that boat too. And so I've been wondering for quite a while now, do we cheapen our faith or our scriptures by not talking about it? So let's talk about it. We profess our faith and the inerrancy of Scripture, meaning error-free, in all of Scripture. So let's talk about and wrestle with those uncomfortable parts. My hope is that we can strengthen our faith in a deep and authentic way by embracing and talking about these pieces and how they fit into the grander story and message of God's redeeming love to all of creation. So each week we're going to have a guest, and it'll be someone like a pastor, a priest, a deacon, a professor, some seminary students, or some other people that have a Bible education, and to have them join us in conversation mostly about the Sunday's readings, upcoming Sunday's readings for churches that follow the Revised Commonlectionary. We probably will deviate from that time to time to take a look at things that aren't included in the lectionary. And there are a lot of things that are not included in the lectionary. And for those of you who may not know what the Revised Commonlectionary is, it is a 3-year cycle of Sunday and daily readings from the Bible that go with our church calendar of the festivals and the holy days, and it has a certain flow throughout the year of all the readings. There's one reading from the Old Testament, a psalm reading, and one reading from the New Testament, and a gospel reading every single Sunday. And so Vatican II, which was the Council of Catholic Cardinals that was convened by Pope John the 23rd in 1962 and ended in 1965, this council was to address the needs of the modern world's faith, which made some shifts, like allowing Mass to be conducted in common languages and not just in Latin. And prior to Vatican II, churches participated in readings on Bible readings on Sunday narratively, which just means that they read it, in chronological order. Or individual churches or individual denominations would have their own structure of how they would do readings on Sunday morning. Generally, there was always some kind of structure to what Sundays look like. And this dates all the way back to Moses. They always had a flow to it. But with Vatican II, the Roman Catholic Church created the lectionary for Mass in 1969. And then Protestants, of course, piggyback off of that and made the Common Lectionary in 1983, and then revised it to our current lectionary, the Revised Commonlectionary, in 1992. And if you're wondering if your church follows the Revised Commonlectionary, you should ask. Many mainline Christian denominations in the United States and around the world do follow this lectionary. Generally, if you have a system where you got the Old Testament, a Psalm reading, the New Testament reading, and then a Gospel reading, most likely you are following that, but not necessarily. But churches, denomination of churches that do follow the Revised Common Lectionary include the American Baptist churches, the Community of Christ, the Disciples of Christ, the Episcopal Church in the United States, the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, that's the one I'm a part of, the Lutheran Church in Missouri Synod, the Moravian Church in America, the Presbyterian Church USA, the Reformed Church in America, the United Church of Christ, the United Methodist Church, the Unitarian Universalist Christian Fellowship, and many more added to that list. And if you are a Roman Catholic listener, your lectionary is similar to the Revised Common Lectionary, but it deviates in some places where feasts that Protestants maybe don't celebrate, or where our scriptural canons vary. And what that means is, for those of you that don't know, the Catholic Bible and the Bible of some Anglican traditions is bigger than the Protestant Bible. That there is a portion of books in the Old Testament that is added to the Catholic Bible that Protestants refer to as the Apocrypha. So most Protestants do not consider these books a part of the canon, meaning they don't believe that they are scripturally authoritative. Protestants do not include these because they are not included in the Hebrew Bible canon, which is the official canon, this authoritative scripture? The authoritative scripture of the Jewish faith, in which we inherited our Old Testament from our Jewish ancestors. So these are considered the apocryphal books, and in the current Hebrew Bible canon as well. The Apocrypha was first separated out of the Jewish Bible from the Septuagint Bible, which was the first Hebrew Bible written in Greek for the Greek-speaking Jews in Alexandria in the formation of their canon in about the 1st century BCE. It was first separated out of the Protestant Bible in Martin Luther's 1534 version. Anyways, the Revised Common Lectionary is this 3-year cycle of readings of the Bible. However, it is not reading the entire Bible in 3 years. There is a lot of parts of the Bible that are not a part of these readings. They get left out by just skipping over verses or omitting entire chunks altogether. Like, for instance, the entire book of Judges. The Revised Common Lectionary and the Roman Catholic Lectionary has exactly one reading from the book of Judges in a 3-year cycle. And it's actually just an optional reading that most churches don't even use. And you may wonder why. Well, the book of Judges is definitely one of those really uncomfortable, racy books of the Bible. It's got some pretty ugly stuff in there. Like there's one story where they rape, murder, and dismember a woman and then ship all of her body parts to the 12 tribes of Israel. Yep, that is in the Bible. And so, these are things that we should talk about and wrestle with and not just ignore. Because what if you do come across that? What are you supposed to do with that kind of information? So, in the upcoming weeks, we're going to wrestle with this kind of thing. We're going to dig deeper into the background of the biblical characters and what their histories mean and what their actions mean that we read about. All right, well, that is it for our intro to Shit They Don't Tell You on Sunday. We will get started with our first episode on Tuesday, April 6th, and we'll dive into the whole Doubting Thomas debacle. Look for an announcement coming soon with our guest for that week. Also, share this podcast with friends and family that you think would like to journey with us, and like us on Facebook to get notifications of new episodes at facebook.com/Shit They Don't Tell You on Sunday. Take care, y'all.